Hello, I'm Cecilia Marquez. I'm originally from Argentina. I joined Bishop Fenwick July 2019, and I found my professional home here at Fenwick. I love the idea of being part of a Catholic school that is co-ed. I love the mission. After being an educator for 35 years, I think the mission embraces exactly what I believe the human person should be, and the idea of an engaged, noble citizen for the 21st century. I think whenever any family or any school defines a curriculum, I think we need to begin with a definition of the human person, because unless you begin with a clear definition of the human person, then any school will be okay. But at Fenwick, we begin with a clear definition that the human person is the integral unity of mind, body, and soul. So we want our students to know the good, to love the good, and to do the good. So our curriculum has to encompass academic excellence, love of virtue, wisdom, and also service. And that embodies all the disciplines of the liberal arts. So we want our students to know English and great books, history, from world history, the Greeks, to modern history. But we also want them to know science, technology, math. So that would be fine arts, music, the appreciation of beauty. So that encompasses the breadth of the curriculum. And the depth, we have requirements that go beyond the traditional requirements in other schools. So we have English requirements, theology. I never forget theology and that friendship with God that we want to inspire in our children. So that is the depth that we try to promote in our curriculum, because we're a college prep, and so we never forget that. But how we reach that depth begins also with one student at a time, meeting the students where they are, and that's we have a very differentiated curriculum. And so by meeting them where they are, we have them thrive at their own pace with a very strong support system. So regardless of your entry level, we all have high expectations for them, and we all help them and nurture them so that they thrive according to our definition of the academic excellence, both intellectually, emotionally, and physically. It's interesting because everything begins with our admissions process. We have a very individualized admissions process. So by the time we transition students from the admission process, I get very thorough notes on our students, their passions, their interests. We meet with our families, even when they get accepted. So we try to define what would be the right fit for the classes they take. We have a transition program for the freshmen especially, we're called All Aboard. So the students transition socially and academically, but we also get to know them. So that helps us with the placement for the classes, not only because we have an official transcript, but because we meet the human person where they are. And so when we identify students, whether they have a learning plan or not, we identify their strengths and their weaknesses. And that helps with the placement, especially in grouping by ability, in math, foreign languages, but even in science, because 9th grade is a very important transition year into high school. And so we group them by ability. We have support systems with our learning specialists. We have peer tutoring with National Honor Society. And we have our teachers stay after school hours from 2:30 to 3, so that they can meet with our students one-on-one. They tutor them, and we teach our students how to advocate for themselves. Because for us, developing that growth mindset where the students learn from their mistakes, seek feedback, and value their effort, and they understand that all of these is going to be their secret for their success, is crucial, not just for high school, but to help them thrive beyond high school. And so our support system is very integral to who we are. even the coaches. We communicate from the counselors to the coaches to the academic support team. So we truly look at one student at a time, and we meet regularly to see who are the weakest links in our chain, because we are as strong as our weakest link. And so we really take care of one student at a time. I love my teachers, and actually, I can tell you a secret, which is not that secret, that private. I call them my Gestalt. If you know the school of psychology called Gestalt, it tells you that when you add the individual people in my team, the total sum is bigger than the individual people that you add, because their wisdom and their talents are so vast, but at the same time, they add so much to each other because of their collegiality. When we talk about the Fenwick family, you can see that being so alive in the collegiality of our teachers. 78% of them have graduate degrees, and that is a very high number. But it wouldn't be meaningful unless they were lifelong learners. They really want to keep learning. They adapt to new challenges with a hybrid method. We had an in-service day preparing them for how to learn and teach, because teaching and learning go together remotely. They were ready, embraced that, and our students benefited from that. So how I describe my faculty, they are amazing. And they care, what I was talking about, the individual person, they care for the social and the academic well-being of the students. They understand that they are leaders in their classrooms. So unless they build trust and they show their care for the individual student, that student is not going to thrive. Whether it's math, English, history, they care. They are content experts, and then we provide professional development, so they learn from brain research and everything that pertains to teaching and learning, so every student can thrive. You know, some people shy away from making mistakes, and I think the technology that we have now, and even Zoom, you look at yourself all the time. So perfectionism is part of the 21st century. And that perfectionism can create anxiety. So we are trying to promote excellence, which is a way of a healthy perfectionism, in the sense that we want students to thrive, to be good, to develop their talents, to reach outside their comfort zone, but accept that making mistakes is part of the learning process. The key is to learn from your mistakes and to learn from feedback, to understand that your success is based on your effort, not on your talent. People many times forget that even while we are here in Massachusetts, Tom Brady was not a starter in college, or Michael Jordan was rejected from the high school team, or Ryan Reynolds did not make it into the theater program in high school. So, but they persevere. And so the idea is that you need to be resilient, you need to persevere, and people who succeed, it's because they persevere. They tried harder, they stood up one more time when they fell. And that is the idea. And here, it's not that you will fall and no one will lend a helping hand. Here you have your peers supporting you, you have the teachers, the coaches, a whole support system believing in you and helping you stand up again and giving you a second chance. And the teachers will email you, you're missing this. We'll call the parents, we partner with the parents. We want your success. So when you have that whole cheerleading team behind you, then you try again and you see that eventually you'll find the success, because no one will let you quit. Why not? I have to, how many hours do I have? You know, the truth is that God had a plan for me, God has a plan for you. And the motto for Fenwick is goodness and loyalty. And it dawned on me, if you know the parable in the Gospel of Matthew, there was a rich merchant who went away, and before leaving, he gave 3 of his servants 8 talents. He gave one, according to their abilities, money, called talents in the parable, 5 talents, to another one 3, and to another one 1. But even 1 was a lot of money. And when he returned upon his journey, the one who had 5 talents said, I know that you take care of your business, so I invested your money, and here are your 5 talents and 5 more. And the merchant said, oh, good and faithful servant, because you have been very trustworthy, I'll entrust you with more. Good and faithful. Okay. To the one who gave 3 talents, the servant returned 3 more and said, good and faithful servant, because you have been good with my money, I will trust you with more. And the one who got 1 talent, that was a lot of money, he said, well, I was afraid, so I buried that and I didn't do anything, so here's your 1 talent. And the master was very upset. So in my mind, I said, the founders of Fenwick were so visionary that to see that goodness and faithfulness based on our talents is the key to our education. We don't want students to become someone else. We want students to become their best self. Each of us is a true masterpiece created by God. And for me, it's something that is unique about Fenwick, that our mission, our vision of the human person, our vision of the Catholic faith, everything aligns. So why not Fenwick? Show me another school that has, first, the leadership that we have. Then when we talk about the Fenwick family, it gives me goosebumps. It is because we have, even in the leadership, people who attended Fenwick. So you have the institutional memory of people who have been part of the Fenwick family as students, and now as teachers, and even as parents. So everything aligns at Fenwick. The mission, the vision, the families, the students, the friendships you develop, the parents' friendships, the teachers' friendships, the leadership who embraces the mission. So my question is, I challenge you, show me a school that is so aligned, so strong, as strong as we are. Because to tell you the truth, I haven't found that in 35 years in the United States. And for me, it's a great honor to be principal here, because we do these. Remember, we, the leadership, we are also accountable to a greater master, the master with a capital M. So we are also accountable of these talents that he entrusted to us. So we take our job very seriously, because he's going to ask us at the end of our journey, hey, what did you do with our talents? So I tell you, I challenge anyone, show me a better high school, or show me a high school that is as eager as we are to keep improving and being the best Fenwick we can be, or we ought to be, because I'm very competitive. Trust me, this is it. This is it. Come visit us, get to know us, and you fall in love with us as I fell in love with Fenwick.